Okay. Theoretically, we should be live.
I like
All right.
theories.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it. It looks like it.
Yeah, I see us.
I see determining quality, which is why I said theoretically.
Ah, that's fair. Well, I mean, it's on the stream, so
That's good. We are live. Confirmed. Sean, you're looking bright.
I'm looking bright. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Finally, the
Discord is
sun's just landing in his house.
We had to. No, it's not, man. It's so cold over here. I guess.
Yeah,
compared to you,
is it super rainy
cold.
there? Like I heard you guys got like tons of rain.
We got some rain, but it's more just weirdly cold. We got hail for like a split second.
Whoa.
There was like a solid like 1 minute of hail, which was super interesting to see down here.
Nice.
And when I say cold, it's like, it's in quotations. It's cold for here, but like we got down to like 3, which I mean,
that's pretty cold for there. Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised, but I know you guys are like feels like -40 and all this other nonsense.
Today I think was not as bad, but yeah, generally, I think
just over the last
yesterday,
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Yep. So what you guys been up to? It's been a week.
Fuck all.
Doing all right, I guess. Just staying away from the polar vortex as much as possible.
That thick vortex.
Too much vortex.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, going out in the -30 sucked.
Did you? Like, what did you have to go do?
We ran errands. So there's like a new YMCA in town. It's like the biggest one in Canada.
Wait, what?
So we went to go check. Yeah, so Calgary has the biggest YMCA in Canada. So we went to go check it out, and like I think it lives up to that. It's pretty big.
What'd you do there? Like go to the gym?
Well, we got like a YMCA membership because we hadn't had one before.
Okay. What are you? Are you using it for like a gym or for?
Yeah,
what?
gym and swimming and stuff. Because like but the swimming pool area doesn't open until next month. So.
Damn. Then why didn't you wait a month? That's a waste of a month.
Because there's other things to do at the Y.
Okay, all right.
Young man, don't you let yourself down.
I was
said
waiting.
Young man.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
I couldn't remember the lyrics.
All right. Well, this is the top down perspective.
What about you guys? Just no? Okay, fine. I'm the only one who lived my life this week, apparently.
Yeah, I did fuck off.
You bought a gym membership.
That is a part of life, Sean.
Okay, well, good.
It goes go to school, get an education, buy a gym membership, then never use it.
All right.
Wow.
I use my gym membership every single day, for the record.
I can believe that.
Yeah. Nothing else new really is going on down here. This weekend, I have a Quidditch tournament in Sacramento, so I'll be away. So that's exciting. It's regionals.
Okay.
My team is probably going to get destroyed.
Oh.
And it's also supposed to be cold. So it's just going to be... That part's going to suck, but my team rented a huge Airbnb with a hot tub. So that'll be fun to hang out in and, hang out with friends and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
That's my gym. That's my weekend. Paul, you got anything to say before we start the show for real?
Nah.
Okay. Top down perspective for February 7th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Okay. What was that?
Cat. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was revenge.
Actually, I do have one thing to add. My neighbor is currently filming a music video in his living room. So they keep jumping around and yelling.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. It happens every 3 days. When I walk home, I see that they're filming a music video.
Cool.
So that's my life. My life. That's what I was trying to say. All right. John, what have you been playing?
Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a game.
All right. Continuing on. Getting better, getting worse.
So I'm so conflicted while playing this because like they did some gameplay tweaks that I actually kind of like. Like some of the worlds, they themed them pretty strong. and they changed the gameplay accordingly.
So. It's been 13 years, like games have evolved.
But like somehow the plot has gotten worse, if that makes sense.
Great.
Okay.
So like the running comment I've had since I've been playing through this is, why is everyone an idiot except Goofy? Goofy is the smartest person in the entire story.
Oh,
Isn't Goofy dead or something? Or he dies?
Whoa.
No.
I thought that was the joke, is Goofy's dead.
That's like a bit that happens in the second game.
But so did he come back to life?
Yeah, like 3 minutes later.
Okay.
He had like a concussion or something.
Okay, so he was never dead.
No.
Oh.
But like they all think he's dead, so then they get serious. And then my favorite line that's uttered in Kingdom Hearts gets said. It's just Mickey Mouse saying, "They'll pay for this."
Well, yeah,
it's like my favorite scene because it's so stupid. But no, like I said, the gameplay is kind of cool. Like one of the worlds, I don't know how much we can discuss because I'm not sure what worlds people do and don't know about. I guess we can
like the third world or something.
You can do them sort of out of order. I guess like the seventh world, I think is what it is. Fuck it. It was in the E3 trailer. I can talk about this. The Pirates world.
Okay.
Oh, that's in tons of
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, the Pirates world in Kingdom Hearts 3. You straight up do sea battles with boats. Like you control a ship and then fight a bunch of boats with cannons and it's actually pretty fun. Like little changes like that are real good.
Okay. If you're looking for like ship combat, there's probably way better games that do that. Because
like
there's a lot of them
the
now.
ship combat area in Kingdom Hearts 3 does not last as long as say Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm saying if you need more boat in your life, there are other games for that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That's a frozen area.
Ha ha ha! Fuck that area.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, no. So the gameplay is fine, but like the problem with the frozen area is that, God, I can't even talk about this without actually spoiling it.
Okay.
Let's just say there's a lot of
really
backtracking. Let's just say there's a lot of backtracking in that one.
Okay. Do they sing "Let It Go"?
Do you want me to actually answer that question?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Straight really up, like how Cloak and Dagger that was. That was.
I was just like, that's not gonna. Is that? I was confused because I was like, this is a yes or no question. How could this spoil something for me?
Like they literally have a music video, it's straight up a music video of her singing "Let It Go," and like Sora, Donald, and Goofy are just kind of there in certain shots and going like, "Oh, what? Like that." That's pretty much what happened.
Man, you're really selling.
Is there other music video moments? Because Disney often has musicals, or is it just "Let It Go"?
Both songs from that movie are in there. Do you want to build a snowman's also there?
Okay. I mean, like, what is there like a Hercules song?
I think that's the only like musical in the game. Period.
Is the Frozen stuff?
Yeah, which makes sense. I feel like that's the thing it's best known for.
Well, but I could also argue that like The Lion King has some great songs.
Oh yeah, most of those movies have great songs, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Few of them are in the Kingdom Hearts games.
Okay, yeah. So I feel it's weird that Frozen is the only one where they're like, this music's important.
Nope. I don't know, man. We're so close to the end at this point. We just got to get through it because I want to see where the story actually goes.
So you're in that camp now, where it's like, I just want this to be done. Like,
not necessarily in like the negative way, but like I want to know like where I are in the plot. It's just like what's gonna happen next? What the fuck?
Gotcha.
I mean, there's probably going to be some kind of cliffhanger so they can continue, right?
Probably.
So.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was just like a cliffhanger ending, so there could be Kingdom Hearts 4.
Right. I mean, this game's making a ton of money, and it gets people excited in ways few video games can.
Mm-hmm.
I do have gripes about the game, though, as someone who's played through 1, 2, and 3 fairly recently. The worlds are almost excruciatingly
It's just too much Kingdom Hearts.
long.
Don't do it.
No, the worlds are... Also that. The worlds are excruciatingly long.
Okay.
Like one or two are pretty short in the game, but like most of them are like really long that they just kind of overstay their welcome.
Okay, so you would have preferred more worlds being there shorter.
Yeah, more worlds a little bit shorter. I think I actually kind of liked what Kingdom Hearts 2 did, where it was like you do a main story when you get to the world, and then you go to other worlds, and eventually you have to come back to do more stories. But they're they're semi-optional.
I mean, this could have just been like a budget thing where it's like, you know, we built this world, we're gonna use it, as opposed to having to build two worlds.
And I mean, here's the other thing: like the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 I played were both final mixes, so they added extra content. For all I know, like they're planning a final mix for this eventually, and that'll add like extra stuff that feels lacking.
Probably. Or, you know, 3.4.
Oh God, don't even.
Those have to be coming, right?
They'll do it. They'll do it. That's the worst part.
There's no way that's not happening. This game is making so much money.
I mean, yeah, it's shipped over 5 million copies.
Yep.
And it's been out for a week, which that's pretty fucking good. So,
like I said last week, that girl bought my PlayStation 4 just because she wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, what other? That's a system seller right there. Of course, they're making more Kingdom Hearts games. Playing anything else?
What did I write down? Oh yeah, Bangai-O. So my game clearing mission this year, I'm doing A to Z, so one game for each letter of the alphabet, going in order.
You're just on B?
Yeah, I'm only doing them on Mondays.
Okay, you gotta pick up the pace a little bit.
What are you talking about? It's only February.
And you've okay, like you've done 2. You're like a week behind. You got to do 2 a month.
I mean, I guess I see what you mean. Yeah, some of the other games.
And then that won't even be enough. Now that if I do the math, 26, not 24.
It'll be fine. We'll get through. Yeah. We'll get through. We've done 70 in a year, so we'll be fine. And just doing them on Mondays. But yeah, so we played and beat Bangai-O, which took a lot longer than I thought because the time estimate I was given was 5 hours, which I thought, oh, that's like one stream, like stream and a half, it'll be fine. Mm-hmm. First, I did like 2.5 hours. I did half the game. And then I did the other half in about 4 hours. And then the last 3 stages took 2.5 hours.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, so the stages are pretty short normally. Mm-hmm. But the third last stage had a really evil setup to get to the boss where you couldn't really destroy these missile launchers easily. And if you trigger the boss, you were dead because you were just cornered. And if you got into the room too early, they just pinned you and you couldn't fight back and died. So it just took a lot of runs to try to get that. And then the final boss, holy shit. I just about broke a controller yesterday trying to beat it. So I did an extra stream yesterday to actually try to get through the game. And the final boss literally just gets a Starman halfway through the fight.
Okay.
Great.
Sorry, the cat just knocked over something. Yeah, so like imagine just like fighting this boss. He has the same moves as you, and then suddenly he gets invincible, and if he touches you, you insta-die. Because the thing with Bangai-O, it's like it's a game from Treasure where you like fly around, like it's a shmup basically. It's a puzzle shmup, but you don't have invincibility frames. The main gimmick of the game is that you let as many attacks get as close to you as possible, and then you press a button to counter with missiles, and the more attacks that are near you, the more missiles you counter with, up to 400. So you just, because there's just like giant like launch of missiles surrounding you. But if you do it like get the enemy weapons too close, they'll damage you and you take damage. You get a little bit of a stun knockback. You can't attack, and you just keep continually taking damage if they keep hitting you. So like the final boss had the exact same 400 missile counter that I had, and he countered my counter with 400 missiles, which means I instantaneously died.
Could you have just kept countering back and forth like a Zelda boss?
You can't attack until your counter attack is done. So once your counter attack is done, you regain control, but that's also when your hitbox comes back. So I think you would have to frame perfect it basically to avoid taking damage.
Okay. But you beat it.
I did get through it, thank God. So
nice.
So yeah, we start game C on Monday, which I did have originally written down, but I might actually change the game because of how frustrating game B ended up being.
You haven't announced it yet, I'm guessing?
Nope. Okay. I was gonna announce it and start it on Wednesday, but it took so long to get through that I was just like, I just need to do some goofy shit instead.
Will you tell me after we're done here?
Sure.
I'm just curious.
All right.
If I guess it, will you say it?
Sure.
Chroma Squad.
No, but I have to play that anyways.
Yeah. That was like the only C game I could think of at the top of my head. Charlie's Angels, the game.
Perfect.
The movie, the game. For the Game Boy. I don't know if that even exists.
Probably.
For the Game Boy? Yeah, I don't know. But I know Charlie's Angels as a game does.
For the Game Boy Color. It's got that good bumped cartridge and everything.
Yep.
All right. That's all you played?
Yep.
Hey, Sean, what have you been playing?
Whoa. How nice of you to ask.
Finally, someone asks him.
Yeah. I've been playing Apex. Cue the new news music. Apex came out.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
So for those who didn't hear, which would be surprising by this point, Respawn Entertainment dropped a brand new game on Monday. They did like a 15-minute stream. It was being like rumored and teased all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I guess influencers got their hands on it beforehand, and they just kind of started talking. And then obviously press knew about it about the week before. I was hearing rumblings about people going to Respawn to learn about some kind of new thing, but I wasn't like following up with anyone, so it was still surprising to me. So Respawn, who you may know as Call of Duty 4 or Titanfall, they came out with Apex Legends, and I guess kind of the news was like people were upset that it was not Titanfall 3. And in fact, it actually came out. I had this in the news section, but I'll just say now. They actually came out and said we are not working on Titanfall 3 right now. It is just everything into Legends into Apex at the moment. And Apex is a free-to-play battle royale game that kind of feels like Titanfall. However, there's no Titans, there's no wall running. If those are like the two things you go to Titan. So I mean, I'm not really bummed that it's not Titanfall 3. I'm kind of happy with what this turned out to be. But anyways, talking about the game specifically, I'm enjoying it, which is surprising because I'm not really into battle royale, but it's kind of checking all the boxes that would help get me into a battle royale. I'll kind of break that down. So my issue with battle royale games for the most part is I find the pacing isn't satisfying. It's like 90% of it is real slow, just like scavenging for weapons and armor and bullets and stuff. And then 5% of it is, hey, I see someone. And then the other 5% of it is, oh, I'm dead. And just repeat that over and over again.
So it is a battle royale. Gotcha.
Well, so that's not the case with Apex. That's what I was saying was my issues with battle royale games. So that's why I never stick to them very long, because it's hard to get good unless you're just constantly like going near people and trying to fight them to get good at the fighting. Like it takes a long investment to get good at the gunplay in a game that like most of the time you're not even doing the gunplay. So it's like hard to kind of get that training in. And then I just don't enjoy the like, this is real slow. All right, I've built up my character. I've got some good guns. Oh, I'm dead immediately. Well, you start back from square one. So I don't really like the loop of battle royale games. What Apex does differently, first off, it's a class-based shooter, which I'm a big fan of. You know, I like Overwatch. I like, you know, having a class getting good. So there's these different characters have special abilities. So that's kind of interesting right off the bat. And they kind of feel a bit like Overwatch characters because of how weird their special abilities can be. Like one guy, he's like all into holograms. So you can send out a hologram of himself. Or you basically have like 3 abilities. One is usually like a passive one. Then you have one upon, like, I'm playing on console, one on left bumper. And then you have one that charges up over time, which will be like a super strong one. And like the hologram guys is he can make 5 holograms of himself and turn invisible. So it's like really confuse someone when a firefight begins. But there'll be other characters like one guy who I've been trying out as well. I think his name is like Gibraltar or something like that.
Gibraltar, yeah.
Every time he is looking down his iron sights, a shield pops up, which is cool. He can also put down a shield, and he has basically like a meteor storm is his super attack. It's very cool. Other reasons why Apex is working for me is it's mandatory co-op. So you can't play this game solo. It always matches you into a group of 3 to the point where even like when you're jumping out of the plane, one of them is designated the jump master, and they choose when we leave. And you can, if you're not like, confident with yourself of controlling that, you can pass off the title if you end up being the jump master. And then when you all jump as one unit, and you can choose to break off from them, which some people will do. And it's like, why are you even playing this game then? Like, this is a co-op game. But for the most part, you stay as a unit as you're, skydiving down. And then the big part, which is what's really helping out, is you can actually be revived in this game. So when you're not just like when you're downed, you can get back up. If you get totally killed, people can pick up like
your like memory, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a dog tag kind of.
Yeah.
And then there are respawn points throughout the map, and if you bring someone's dog tag there, it'll bring them back into the match.
Interesting.
Which I'm really liking, because it's no longer just like, oh, I immediately died, that's the end of it, start over. It's now, okay, I'm watching my teammate, look, oh, they did get me back, cool, I'm back in this game. And you come back like with very low health, with none of your items. So you have to kind of scrounge up again, but at least you're still in the map. You can kind of keep going. But of course, playing with randos, they just like won't pick up your tag, and they'll just like dick off. And it's like, what are you even doing? But the best part is it is pretty easy to coordinate with your team, even without having voice chat on. Because like if you're going to put voice chat on, you're probably a psychopath at this point. In 2019. So obviously I have that turned off. But if you use, again, I'm going with the console controls, right bumper, there's this huge range of like context aware messages you can kind of send out. So just hitting right bumper, whatever you're looking at, you'll point at it and your character will say like, hey, why don't we go check that out? If you double tap it, your character will point, whatever your character's looking at, they'll point it and be like, hey, there's an enemy over there. And then if you hold it down, you have a whole wheel of different things, and it'll actually be context sensitive. So if I say I hit right bumper and I say, hey, we should go over there. If I go look at that spot again and I hit right bumper once, it'll cancel it out. So my character will say, actually, no, never mind. And you can like point at certain objects and ping them, and it'll say like, hey, there's a backpack here. So your team can like, oh, I need a backpack, I'll come over and get that. So it is like really easy to convey like the important info that your team would need while it's happening, to the point like even if I forget what button it is, but if you're being shot, you can hit one of the buttons and your character will just basically call out to the team, hey, I'm being shot from somewhere, and they'll even say like kind of like what weapon is shooting at them and stuff. So it's really context sensitive, and it conveys a lot of info really nicely. So it's kind of like, this is the best chance I have at a battle royale game. So I've been playing it. I'm like really trying to give it the college try to kind of get in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's free to play. So like, that's pretty cool. And it looks great. I'm liking it. I have EA access now for the next month. Because it, so that I can play Destiny more and sooner and cheaper. And that gave me enough credits to like buy one of the new characters right off the bat.
Which one did you get? It sounds like you got Mirage.
Yeah, I got the Mirage, the hologram guy. There's 8 characters total. Only 6 of them are unlocked. I had seen a lot of the Mirage guy in the announcement stream, so I wanted to try him out.
Mm-hmm. What was the other one again? Caustic, I think.
Caustic, yeah. So he like lays traps. Like
I haven't like seen anything of him, so
Yeah, I haven't seen a ton. I haven't seen much Mirage either because most people
Mm.
don't have enough credits to unlock these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you're picking your teammates out, like they'll kind of like randomly put you in an order of like, hey, you're picking characters first, second, and third. You can only have one of each one of each character in your squad, and you have the ability to basically say like, hey, this is the one I would like, even though I'm picking third, and then the people in front of you can kind of decide if they're going to pick it anyways. So you kind of need to know like at least 3 characters in case your first 2 options get picked. I only know 2 characters at the moment. I've never had both of them been taken. But that's mainly because Mirage is one of my characters and no one has him unlocked at the moment.
Makes sense.
Paul, did you play this?
I did. I don't like it at all.
Oh, why don't you like it?
I just don't like the battle royale format at all. Like if this was like a deathmatch thing or something, I'd probably be more in, where like a bunch of respawns or whatever, because it is fun. I just don't like the battle royale format. That's my big issue with it.
And some of the things I'm listing, those aren't like what
Game
would help
changers?
you?
No. Nope.
Okay. Anyways, they're working for me. I'm still really bad at the game, but I'm really trying to actually get good at one of these. And they seem pretty committed to like I said, they're not doing Titanfall 3. They're doing this for a while.
Do you have a group that you've been playing with? Kind of grow. Because it seems like it might be fun if you just had like 2 people that were you could like make plays with. It seems like that's kind of the big thing with this, right? Is that you could actually
like how the like abilities would like compare with each other,
or like just even going so far as like trusting that if you and your other buddy here start a firefight, the other one is smart enough to know how to flank and like get the drop on them or something. Like just that trust seems like
right. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like a co-op game, so you would like that.
Yeah.
For the most part, I've had like the teams have been staying together. We haven't been like putting together plays because we're not talking to each other.
Sure.
But I'm definitely looking forward to like playing it with some friends.
Yeah.
And actually saying like, hey, I'm gonna send my Mirage out to see if anyone's around or gonna shoot at us. Or I'm gonna send my Mirage in there and then we're gonna run in through the window and blah blah blah. So it would definitely be pretty easy to do stuff. There's tons of characters that can like go invisible or like drop smoke grenades and still see through the smoke.
Portal Lady is popular from what I've seen.
Yeah, what's that girl's name again?
I don't remember. Portal Lady.
Yeah, I played with her like once. She can go invisible and she can set up like a teleporting portal kind of thing. Yeah, I don't remember her name, but she's pretty popular. The robot's pretty popular. He has like a hook shot, so he can like zip around the map a little bit.
He has a smiley face on his chest.
He also does have a smiley face on his chest. Yep. Yeah, I mean it's free, so why not check it out? It launched on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
It's very well optimized on PC, by the way. It's like extraordinarily smooth in a way that games, specifically battle royale games, aren't usually. Like it's very, very smooth.
I think the game feels good. I mean, it feels like what I remember from Titanfall. Sans the Titans,
and like the wall running
and the wall,
basically.
But like, there's still like an element of the traversal of like that is just like fast and smooth. You have like this crazy long slide, and if you slide down hills, you go real fast. So it's definitely like bringing up some of the feelings from Titanfall.
And you can slide in any direction too, which is like really handy.
And you can shoot while you're sliding. You can also still ping stuff while you're down, which is super helpful and cool. You can get a shield that you can put up while you're down and stuff as well. There's a lot you can do. So I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to like playing with friends and actually like trying to be strategic about something. I got to second place once.
Oh,
so
nice.
Pretty cool. Yep. That's the best I've done. I have yet to win so far.
Maybe later tonight. Boot it up one time
maybe
before
we
bed.
Started late, so I'll probably be going to bed after we're done. But maybe I was playing right before we went live. No crossplay, which is a bit of a bummer, but
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Everything else seems to be getting it slowly.
That would be cool, because I think this is one of those games also that if you play with a controller on PC, you can have auto or aim assist. So I think like crossplay is a thing they could potentially do, but maybe they just haven't worked out those deals or something.
Maybe this might also be one of the few like Xbox games that support mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Like they can do that now. Like who knows what they'll do.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the game looks and plays great. Like Respawn knows shooters, and like they just proved that.
The art style reminds me, like the look of it reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. It reminds me of another game, but I don't know which one. It's been driving me nuts. Maybe one day.
Yeah, I can't think. The characters are cartoony, but they're not like Overwatch cartoony.
No.
They're not like Fortnite cartoony.
No.
But they're definitely like more real, more cartoony than like PUBG.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so before that came out, I played a bunch of Destiny 2's Forsaken DLC.
I picked this up actually. I haven't started
did you?
it yet, but I did buy it before it went off sale.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like I was saying before, it comes with like a code if you need to like boost a character to immediately to like playable level and stuff. We should definitely play that.
It seems fun, but I guess.
Yeah,
like it's just more Destiny.
It's really cool. I'm actually I don't think it's game changing, but the what I'm seeing is the big difference here is that like all the missions after like the first like 2 or 3 kind of introductory ones, it's basically like a boss rush mode. Every mission. So what happens, like as everyone knows that they saw the E3 thing, Cade gets killed. And he gets killed by a group of enemies that like escape this jail. There's like 9 of them or something, and each mission is you fighting one of those enemies.
Okay.
And they all handle differently. So one of them straight up was like, they're known for like always being on a hover bike. Like they're called the Racer. So you play a whole mission where you're like on a hover bike fighting him on a hover bike and stuff.
Interesting.
Or what was another one? There was like the Hangman, who he had a bunch of like your allies caged. So there was a ton more enemies in that map, and you had to just fight your way through the enemies to unlock the cages so that you had allies fighting with you and stuff like that. So each mission is unique, and they always end with this big boss fight. Oh, one that was pretty cool, the Trickster, he had a bunch of bombs placed throughout the map that were disguised as ammo. So you would go over to the ammo, and at the last second you realize, oh wait, this thing's flashing red, and then a bomb would show up, and you just have to like hightail it because half a second later it explodes. Yeah, so instead of just random, each mission being kind of like, go through the corridor, fight your way through, hey, you did it. Now it's go through the corridor, and here's a big unique boss over and over again, like 9 different times. So that's really cool. That's pretty unique. I'm enjoying Destiny quite a bit with that. It's like the first time I've actually been able to pay attention to the story. So yeah, I'm enjoying cool. Forsaken for sure. You get a crossbow, or not a crossbow, you get a combat bow at the beginning of Forsaken. They just give it to you. That is so good. Like that thing is awesome. Yeah, okay. It's really great.
I look forward to it for sure.
Yeah. And the last thing I played, which will transition to Paul nicely, is Wargroove.
Yeah, man.
John, I'm surprised you're not playing this.
I have it now. A friend viewer rather gifted it to me.
Nice.
Oh, lucky you. What are you playing it
on? Steam.
Yeah. So this is Advanced Wars.
Yeah.
Just like straight up, it's Advanced Wars. So I guess for those who don't know Advanced Wars, think Fire Emblem, because if you're listening to this, you probably played Fire Emblem.
I mean, it's the same studio.
Right. But there's key differences. So whereas Fire Emblem is character based, you're upgrading characters as you go along. This one is totally throwaway. You can let units die. You constantly get new units, and each unit on your map is basically kind of a group of units. And so the health also is their physical ability or potential or whatever. So if someone is 10 health, 10 out of 10, they're at their strongest. But if they've taken half their life is gone, their attack power is also half now.
Mm-hmm. You weren't kidding. This is literally Advanced Wars.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is straight up Advanced Wars. But there's new things to it. I could be mistaken because I've only played Advanced Wars 1, and then like heard a couple podcasts talk about it. But from understand, here's some of the unique things to Wargroove. You have commander units, which are the more like characters that the story is following along with, and they're pretty powerful. So you can win each map by either taking out the enemy base or killing the enemy commander. And the commander, like I said, is pretty difficult to kill. They can pretty much destroy like any regular unit in one attack. They also gain health back each turn. And also they have a special ability that after they fight long enough, they can use like a once turn kind of on a cooldown ability. Like the main character, she can heal units around her. This one guy, he's like some kind of wizard. He can put down a crystal that will make everyone in the vicinity's defense get raised significantly, and so on, so on. There's a bunch of different commanders. There's quite a bit to this game. So even I'm just basically talking about the campaign mode. There's an arcade mode for each one of the commanders you unlock, which I'm in Act 3.
Me
and
too.
I have 5 commanders, somewhere around there.
Unless
so
you
each
get
one of them
another
has,
one, I think you have 5, right?
So there's the girl, there's the wizard old man, there's the dog,
there's the tree
there's
man,
the tree guy, there's the other tree girl,
and then there's the necromancer lady, I think, as well. Because she has a side mission. I don't think I have her yet. Did you do her side mission?
Not yet. I don't think I'm there yet.
It's in 3.
I'm right at the beginning of Act 3.
Yeah, it's one of the side missions at the beginning. So you'll probably do it right away.
At the beginning of Act 3 or the game?
Yeah, Act 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So each one of them has their own arcade mode. This thing has online multiplayer, local multiplayer, co-op. You can also make and download custom maps. There's a ton in this game. I'm like shocked at how cheap it is. I don't know how long the campaign is. You guys have any idea?
No idea. I'm exactly
I heard decently long.
Yeah, I haven't looked into it, but like this thing seems like a steal at $20.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've talked a bunch. What are you guys thinking of Wargroove?
It's at the point now where every mission I need to be in the mood to do a mission and just see it through because they are getting long. Feeling anyway.
The Wargroove has one entry on how long to beat and says about 15 hours for main story.
That's great.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm excited about that. So Paul, you're kind of getting sour on it?
No, it's just that I need to just sit down and do like a mission and then put it away. I can feel the burnout is very able to happen at this point.
Okay.
I would say.
I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm like the complete opposite. Like I just can't wait to play more of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, this is definitely like my kind of thing. Like I've played, every Fire Emblem I could get my hands on and stuff. One day I'll go back and play all of the Advanced Wars when video games stop coming out.
Mm-hmm. It's really nice looking too. I like the characters. Caesar's great because
Caesar the dog is very good. Yep, I
really
like his mission.
I really like that you don't kill any of the dog units. They just run away, all scared when they're defeated.
They don't like die on screen, but when they do run away, you still see the ghost. So they're dead. You did kill those dogs. Or those dogs did get killed.
Maybe what happened though here, right, is that instead of delivering the final blow, I scared them away and they got hit by like a truck or a horse or something. That's
still not great.
I can absolve myself of it because I didn't land the final blow. It's fine.
Okay.
And it's a group of dogs, dude, like a bunch of puppies or something.
And also, they're called battle pups.
The battle pups, yeah.
Yeah. I like the like you were saying, the way it looks. I love all of the designs for the forest people. I think they look so cool. The dogs they have are also pretty silly looking. Like they're just like weird little monsters.
Yeah.
And so it has tons of different enemies. Like I said, I'm in the beginning of Act 3, so I just got introduced to like vampires and alchemists and trebuchets.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I would say so. The missions, they do definitely get long. Like I'd say each mission, even on a good run, like you're gonna have to play it probably more than once, unless you kind of just muscle your way through it. It's gonna be like 45 minutes to an hour. I wish there was like a mid-game save point.
Yeah,
which I understand. Most tactics games don't have that. Some of them just straight up you can save every turn. Although like we just played through some Shadow Dragon last year, and that had like midway save points throughout it.
Yeah.
But I really wish this would even have maybe even just one. Because there's definitely parts. A lot of these missions, it's like the first half, and it's more just kind of like slowly making your way to the enemy,
Yeah.
and then the real fight begins. And what can really suck is because enemies will like spawn mid map and come in from the sides or whatever, or they'll be in like the mist, so you don't know what you're quite dealing with yet.
Yeah.
A lot of the times you need to replay these missions.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to go for like an S rank. But regardless, just to complete them. Like the game is not easy.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna have to restart because you're gonna know like I have just messed this up. I know a much better way to do it. And that first half is definitely the slowest, and having to replay that first half again is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah,
I wish
agree.
You could just have a midway save point to be like, okay, this is where the mission actually begins. Like this is where it's that what you're deciding on really matters. Like let me save at that point, and then I'll make the better judgment call. But
the mist levels feel less cheap in that way though, because then it at least feels like, okay, I could have scouted this properly, so it's a little bit on me. It just sucks when it's one of those like, oh, I didn't know that I would be attacked from this side that like nothing else is there, so I guess I'm a little screwed. Like that's a little more like shitty, but like yeah, the weird foggy maps or whatever, I usually felt like that was my fault for not scouting properly at least.
Right, they definitely give you the tools to do it. Like, you know, you put the dog up on the mountain and it can see further.
Yeah.
I've just been in just a few scenarios where it's like, you know, I didn't quite get the turn I wanted, or I didn't attack quite properly, and it kind of like it can snowball fast.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
There was one mission that I did kind of recently that involved kind of like two bridges with like an island in between. It's the one where you're playing as the Forest King.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that one just took me so long to like get across that island because they would just kind of like a wall was formed and they had their trebuchet or whatever the catapult thing they had was. So like I said, it can definitely snowball, and then you just kind of have to restart because you know like I could just totally pull back and slowly like wait out the turns to upgrade everything, or I could just start over and it would be like it would actually be faster, which is kind of a bummer.
Yep.
It does seem like the developers like actively updating stuff. I was reading their site. They already put out a blog post being like, here's the things that are happening like immediately, which one of them is skipping battles faster, which I really am glad that's coming because those fights are too long.
Did you turn off the animations yet?
No.
Wow.
Because I want to see them.
Holy shit. Wow. Well, so you probably played way more time-wise than I have.
Maybe, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I feel like turning them off, I'm missing out on something in this game. Like, I want to see these units, and I want to see them fight, but they take too long.
Actually,
they are all the same.
A nice compromise is you can put it on commander only, and that's what I have it on, because when the commander is doing something, it's important enough that I might lose the game. I want to be able to see that.
That's a good point. Yeah. I think you can also even set it to combat only, which I might do because I do not need to see myself or enemies run into an empty town and claim it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's so annoying the first like 500 times.
Yeah, it's almost like the ideal scenario for me is if those could just be sped up, like just put it on double speed because I want to see them, but I don't want them to take this long. But I know they're working on at least making it faster to skip stuff, which will be good. I can't remember all the other stuff, but they basically put out a roadmap of like, here's things that are happening really soon, here's things that are going to happen soon, and here's things we're thinking of, and they're even talking about like DLC and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
So I'm definitely excited. I think this game was kickstarted.
Yes, that sounds right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it is like surprisingly like so fully fleshed for a game that like wasn't like an early access thing. Like this almost seems like how Dead Cells was like so good when it first came out because it went through like a year of feedback. This thing just came out of the gate like with so much. Like good for them.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it quite a bit. John, I'll be interested to see what you think because I know this is your kind of game too.
Hopefully, I get around to it. I still have to get through Kingdom Hearts, and then I want to start Resident Evil 2. So,
sure.
I mean, that's a weekend though. You can get through that one at least. That's not a time
I guess,
sink.
but still, I gotta catch up on everything too. So we'll see.
Apparently,
on Switch. Paul, you're also on Switch, right?
Yeah. Apparently, there's already people making Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem maps in Wargroove.
I have. I saw like an article.
Makes sense.
Saying that. Yep.
Yeah, it's very good.
All right, Paul, we'll finish us off. What's the last thing you played?
Today, the Division 2 closed beta is a thing, so I played that. And yo, that's more Division, so if you like that, that's that game again, but more optimized so it runs better. That's it. Nothing more
I
to
do like
say.
that game. I am looking
You'll
forward
probably like
quite
this.
a bit.
The biggest bummer about it is that I like the setting of New York City more than Washington. That's like my only gripe with it. Otherwise, it is very clearly just the like newer game in that series.
That's interesting. I was watching some of the trailers and they were talking like specifically like there's a lot different in DC because it has like kind of a marshland. It has like some downtown suburban, so it's like a lot different, more like diverse.
I could see
than
that.
Just like downtown.
But
I'm actually kind of looking forward to having some diversity.
Yeah, that's true. You don't get that in the beta though, so that'll be the full game sort of thing.
Sure. I was also watching on a different trailer. They were talking about like the end game, of Division 2, which sounds really interesting. Because a whole new faction of enemies opens up at the end game, and an entire new skill tree is unlocked.
New
at the
skill
end game.
tree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
That sounds great. Like I'm excited for that for sure.
That does sound great because I think that was one of the problems with the Division 1 is that until they started adding like the expansion DLCs, there was kind of nothing. When you got to max level, it was like, well, I could go to the Dark Zone again, I guess. But that's pretty much it. So that's kind of cool that they took lessons from that and they're like, oh no, there's actually stuff that you could look into that is fun at endgame now.
And it's like only at the end game. So that's that's definitely really cool. I'm excited.
Yep, I'm into it.
Just one more loot shooter I need because I'm only going to be playing 3 of them.
Yeah.
When it comes out.
What are the other ones?
Well, I'm still making my way through Destiny, and
Destiny,
Anthem will have been out by then.
That's right.
And they're all pretty similar, but anyways, yeah, like I was saying a second ago, I got EA Access because it's going to let me play Anthem early.
Yeah.
It's going to let me try Anthem for 10 hours. That's the early part. And then, so I just did a month, which is $5.
Yeah.
And with EA Access, you get 10% off EA games.
Yeah.
So I'll actually be saving $1.
Yeah.
And getting to play it early. So I was like, this just makes total sense why I'm going to do this.
Yeah, they're really pushing that. They're really pushing their service for sure. To the point where it's kind of shitty for people that pre-ordered because it's like, well, I don't get the early access and I'm just stuck with it, I guess. Especially, I don't know what EA's policy on Origin for PC is for refunds. So they might just be screwed if they don't like it in general. It's weird. It's weird that they kind of screwed over those people in a weird way for a better system.
That's on. They chose to pre-order.
No, totally.
No one forced them to pre-order.
Yeah.
For the most part, you should not pre-order games.
No, totally.
Especially with like the digital future that we live in, there's not a great reason to pre-order a game if you're going to play it digitally, which on the PC you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. It's just weird that like EA is even on that train of it's like, yeah, kind of fuck those guys, right? Like look at this service over here, gamers.
Well, I mean, that's enticing people to
do their thing,
subscribe to their service.
They're definitely going for the like people that sign up and maybe forget that their credit card is linked or whatever. For sure,
which is scummy.
I mean, I feel like most places when you sign up, it just kind of sets to auto renew, and you just kind of need to like keep that in mind.
It's super cheap on
that's
PC
not necessarily
too, though.
new.
It's $30 a year.
That's the same on Xbox.
Yeah, so I've just been doing that because I've been playing those Battlefield games all the time.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. I just did the $5 a month one. Honestly, there's not enough EA games that come out that I'm like excited enough to do this. Whereas This
Yeah.
$5 a month gives me it gives me like 10 hours with the game.
Yeah.
At least it will with Anthem. Because like I look ahead and it's from EA, there's not a, you know, I'm not really into sports games, not super into Battlefield. So
Sure.
maybe my mind will get changed sooner or later, but right
They're-
now I just did the month.
Their $20 a month one is a little harder for me to swallow in my mind. It's a little.
I don't think
more...
the Xbox has that.
Like the argument for it is that you get the full game of Anthem through their subscription service, like a PS Plus sort of thing. But then, of course, it's like it's one of those things that if you want to play Anthem again in 6 months, you're gonna either be re-upped still, or you're gonna have to re-up or whatever, and then at that cost, it's gonna be $40 if you re-up, or if $120 if you had been paying that whole time. So I don't know.
I mean, you just have to be in for all of their games.
Yeah, it might not be bad if you just want to play like real hard with your buddies for that month that Anthem comes out, and then cancel it, because then you get the full thing. But like, I don't know. It's a hard one to justify in my mind. $20 a month is a lot.
Yep. But I mean, if that's the only game you're playing, though.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna definitely want to try and keep you in there because they're gonna do end game content, and it's gonna be a live game like everything is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to some news. A few big things happened this week. Microsoft had their Inside Xbox event, which I think they're trying to just capture the excitement around Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
And I think they're unsuccessfully doing so. For the most part, I didn't see anyone really caring about this, and also just the stuff they were talking about was just like kind of whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Anyways,
this was a thing. So
yeah, exactly. One of the things they did announce was weird, in my opinion, was Halo Outpost, which is some kind of theme park. It's some kind of Halo experience that you go to. There's going to be like rides and shit. I don't know, man. It's weird.
That VR laser tag or something seemed like it might be kind of neat, but I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good descriptor of this whole thing. Is it seems kind of neat.
Yeah.
They kept saying like this is where they want like a huge collection of all of the Halo fandom to be. If you know they're going to have cosplayers there, and I guess a Halo VR thing.
Okay.
I guess you're gonna get in a warthog or something. I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
It's some kind of like physical thing you go to. There's community meetups and over 200 game stations, exclusive gear, an interactive museum, the laser tag thing, the Halo Ring experience. I don't know what that means.
What the hell does that mean?
They're not really showing it, just some concept art. I don't know. It's going to be in like 5 or 6 cities across the United States. So I'm kind of I'm curious. I'm waiting to read the article of someone who went to this and like what exactly this thing is.
Was there one going to be in San Fran? I didn't actually look at that whole list. No.
No, the closest was Anaheim down near LA.
Oh yeah.
If it was in San Fran, I would have gone just because I'm curious
to see. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm not even like that big of a Halo fan, so I would just kind of be in there, and then someone would scream Halo at me, and I'd be like, okay. I mean, they're okay.
Maybe that's part of the ride that just literally scream, yeah, Halo at you, and you just have to accept your fate.
Yep. Switch voice chat is becoming more of a reality. So if you remember that Fortnite has just totally integrated Switch voice chat. And then on the other side, you have to remember that Nintendo says the Switch can't do voice chat. You need to download their phone app.
Yeah.
And then plug a headset into that. Or just have it on speaker so everyone can talk to your phones. You know, like a normal person.
Yeah.
Anyways, the software behind the Fortnite I don't know, hack option, whatever it is, it's now available for all developers to use.
Yep.
So like
which proves
the nail in the
when we
coffin
were talking
that is
about
that
it.
Nintendo app.
Which proves that when we were talking about that headphone jack does in fact have a band for a microphone. It's all just software based that Nintendo does not want
Yep.
or did not want for public use. But I guess, have backtracked on it because they know that their thing is ridiculous, I'm sure. Maybe.
It's called Vivox, which is a tech company that focuses on voice and text chat in online games. They said today that any authorized Switch developers can now integrate its Vivox SDK software into their game. Oh, I guess that's good, because what on earth was Nintendo thinking?
They were thinking they were going to try to get everyone to force them to use their app, and guess what? It failed.
And also that weird Splatoon splitter thing.
Yeah.
That you could hear.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, if you needed, what would happen is, the way the splitter worked is, so your headphones would go down to the splitter, then the splitter would go out to your phone and then to the console.
I completely forgot about this.
So that you could hear the console and your friends at the same time. And so that you would be sitting on your couch looking like an absolute crazy person.
Yep.
Or on the bus.
The weirdest part about this is that I found it weird that it's a third party that are allowing this with an official, like, Nintendo allowance or whatever. Like, it's weird that Nintendo isn't just doing that themselves, but that this is a third party doing it. But good on them,
it was
I
weird
guess.
it was weird that Nintendo didn't do this in the first place.
Well, even now, it's weird that Nintendo isn't just the avenue you go through if you're making a game that needs voice
Nintendo's online service and everything feels just like, yeah, just do it yourself, kind of.
Yeah, they kind of just don't care. Whatever. Papa says it's okay, so let's play.
Nintendo is a kid with covering his ears and going na 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 while everyone tries to talk some sense to them.
It's weird. It's so
but they keep putting out things like Breath of the Wild, so you have to love them.
You have to.
They're a talented but stupid child.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Switch and Microsoft, Microsoft announced this week that they are planning to bring Xbox Live to the Switch and other platforms. The other platforms they announced have already happened, so that's not news, despite all the headlines you were reading. It's not news. It already happened. Yeah. Stop reporting on it. But the Switch part is news.
The Switch part is news, yeah.
Yeah. I just kept seeing so many people come like, it's coming to Switch and iOS and the PC. And it's like, what? Those have already happened. Why weren't you playing Wordament on your phone and getting achievements? Yeah. The smart people were. We were all doing it.
I mean,
anyway,
just like a couple episodes of this podcast ago, you were asking me if I've been playing Xbox or whatever, because the stupid app on my PC is picking up literally every fucking game that I play and telling you that I'm playing it.
Yeah. I see you playing Siege on my Xbox all the time.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's not even on. Like, I don't even have that stupid app running, but it's running still.
Yeah, I feel like this might actually be a privacy issue.
Yeah,
if you think about it. But regardless, I guess you haven't been hurt yet.
Not yet.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot more information during GDC. Yeah. But Xbox did say they want to do this. It's also kind of already happened on the Switch. When you play Minecraft on your Switch, you have to log into your Xbox Live account.
Oh. Okay.
And it's been like that since day one, because Microsoft owns Minecraft. Obviously you don't have to do that on the PlayStation, but I think because it was already on PlayStation before Microsoft owned it, and then the Switch was an outlier. But that's cool. Hey, if I can get some achievement points on my Switch, all right. I'm surprised Nintendo's okay with this so much, but they seem to have a good relationship with Microsoft.
And, they've been really friendly lately.
Yeah, stronger together. Don't you remember during the Game Awards, all three of the guys came out and they talked about how when we're working together, we're the best. And then Sean Layden from Microsoft didn't say a single thing. And he just smiled and waved.
Yeah.
And then Reggie.
I thought the Sony guy didn't say anything.
Yeah, Sean Layden.
You said Microsoft.
I said Sean Layden.
Yeah,
but you said from Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah.
Okay, my mistake then. Sorry. Yes, the Sony executive Sean Layden was just smiling and waving like he was part of this. But we all knew, like, why are you even on the stage, dude? You hate everyone.
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure this is probably all just the fact that, like, Nintendo and Microsoft like probably just got together in Seattle for lunch one day. Like two people just got together and it's bloomed into this. And now Sony's just there in their headquarters like scheming while everybody else is having fun.
Now there's like rumors of like, oh man, Banjo-Kazooie confirmed for Smash and all that garbage now because of it.
I bet in like reality though, Sony was invited to that lunch and they just decided not to go and they were like, "Nah, we're selling more than you."
I could kind of see it.
Up yours, Microsoft. We're winning this console generation.
Where is Sony based out of? Like their headquarters in America?
Oh, I don't know what their current headquarters. I know they have something in San Francisco, but like everyone does.
Yeah.
Oh, like their main headquarters.
Okay.
Probably LA.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yep.
This
anyways,
isn't
good,
really news.
Good for them. But... Like it's good for consumers.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
That's cool. Glad to see that happening. Kind of actually just like a real quick small step. Did either of you guys watch the Super Bowl?
No, I saw the score.
Sure. Microsoft unveiled another Xbox Live adaptive controller commercial during the Super Bowl. Have you guys seen either of those commercials now?
No.
I saw like an online thing for it. I don't think it was commercial though.
Yeah, they've been putting some like really like one good, two like heartwarming, but like meaningful commercials for that thing. For those who don't know, the Xbox Live adaptive controller is a controller for disabled people to be able to play Xbox games. You can plug a whole bunch of different adapters into it, but you know, whatever your physical disability is, you should be able to use this much easier than a controller. Back to my story. I remember seeing the first one around Christmas time when I was up there. You know, just a cool story about like a kid being able to like beat a boss with that thing. But they put one out during the Super Bowl, which was pretty much the same thing, just kind of describing what it is and how it's helping people out, which is crazy to me because like a 30-second slot for a Super Bowl commercial is like $5 million. So it's like kind of like, way to go, Microsoft, that they are like committing so much to like what is like such a great product. It's not just like, hey, new Halo. Of course, we're going to spend $5 million on marketing. They're marketing an adaptive controller that probably 1% of their audience needs.
Yeah.
Not even, you know what I mean? I was just like, thumbs up, Microsoft. Good for them.
Yeah, that is neat for sure.
And Paul, you put this last news story on there. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, this isn't so much news as it is a warning that Bubsy is back in a Kickstarter, and it is getting dangerously close to being on track to actually being funded. So I really need people to not go to Kickstarter, look up Bubsy Paws on Fire, and fund this stupid thing. Out of 25...
I think you're missing I think you're missing an important part about this Kickstarter. It's the DLC for the game only.
Yeah,
it's a Kickstarter for DLC for the last Bubsy?
No, for the new one that's coming out by the Runner devs.
Yeah.
The Runner devs, like Runner 3?
Yes, the Runner devs are making a Bubsy game.
Okay. And wait, so no matter what, the Bubsy game is happening, and this is a Kickstarter to be able to get DLC for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this game a runner?
I believe
it just looks like Runner. It looks like Runner 3.
That makes sense. Yep.
Okay.
So
I like that studio.
$25,000 is the goal, and it's at 8,700 right now, and it's been 3 days.
All right, I'm calling you out. Are you trying to like reverse psychology people and you want them to vote?
No, I just thought this was a weird thing, especially because all the different tiers rewarded different Bubsy games.
They rewarded different Bubsy games?
So the $2 tier gives you Bubsy 2 for, the $10 tier gives you Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back, and then you get the full game for $20 and up. And then like some of the runner games as well, depending on how much you pay, basically. This is just a silly, stupid thing.
I don't think you get the runner games. I'm not seeing that.
Oh, yeah, high tier.
Oh, yeah, okay. $35, you get the first Bit Trip runner. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the highest tier.
The highest tier is 100, and there has been 27 backers of it.
Because of course there are.
Yeah, you basically just get everything they've ever done.
Yep.
$100. All right, that's it for news. Let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address. At TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box are all great ways that will allow us to read your question. And sound just like Jerichos, who says, John,
Hi.
you mentioned how much you liked Minute during the Game of the Year episode, and I thought that was really fun and charming game as well. You commented on the appeal of the bite-sized segmenting as being a positive. Have you or the other guys ever played either of the half-minute hero games? They're both on PC, and I think they'd be right up your alley.
Yeah, we played the first half in a hero when it came out on PSP years ago, back when Sean and I were still working in the same store.
I have not played that.
Okay, but yeah, it's a good series. Yeah, and I haven't played the sequel, but I have played Half Minute Hero. I believe I even streamed Half Minute Hero before as well.
How come they didn't grab you like Minute did?
There's just a lot more to those games, like length content wise, than Minute is. Minute's a lot shorter.
And that's a bad thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, at the time, I had only a time for a short game, so I played Minute.
All right. I've never played them. Paul, have you?
I played the first one. I didn't care for it that much.
All right.
Matthew says, hey TDP. In many games, the final dungeon or final battle is a fantastical setting. Examples include ancient temples, hell, magic towers, the moon, the center of the planet, outer space, and alternate dimensions. However,
that's it.
Yeah, and every single one of those is Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. However, what would be the most boring or anticlimactic place for a final boss fight to take place in?
Your bedroom.
A school, like a high school classroom.
So I was thinking about this just now as I read The Moon, and then remembered that DuckTales ends literally by climbing up a rope really fast, and that's hilarious.
I forgot how awful that was. Wow.
Like, you have a fight with Dracula, and then you climb up a rope to race for the treasure, and that's how the game ends. That's a little anticlimactic.
Dracula's trapped by the honor system, suckers. Yeah, I would probably just say, like, your own house.
Yeah, house would be pretty lame. Mm-hmm. I mean, whenever I think of something that sounds lame, I could see them doing a cool version of it. But I guess, yeah, I still think, like a high school would be lame. Like I don't know, like a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because every time I was gonna say like a beach, just like a random beach, but then I'm imagining like there's like a shark in the water doing like flips and shit, and like there's a crazy sunset happening. So I keep thinking of like ways to make it cool.
Yeah,
and video games are just art, man, and that's why they're so great.
Like, or a final boss fight where you just like enter the boss's room at the end of the game, and you just smother him with a pillow as he's sleeping, and then you leave. That's pretty boring and anticlimactic.
That's a boring fight. But what if his room is like on fire?
But what if his room?
What if you travel back in time and kill him as a baby?
Okay, but could you kill a baby? That's the question.
What if you don't even have to do that? You just say that you did it.
Well, then he's not killed. He's still there.
Yeah, that's the Paragon path. The Renegade path is you put a pillow on that baby's head.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about this.
And then it's a boring anticlimactic fight, but it's still horrible.
Oh, this is bad.
Jesus. All right.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Matthew.
All right. Next up comes to us from BGC Kenny. With Kingdom Hearts 3 being out, I've been reminiscing about the time Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. One thing in particular is jumping out at me at the moment, and that is the Kingdom Hearts AMV scene. I remember this is how I got into Linkin Park in the day. I was wondering if something similar happened to you. What musicians did you get into due to either video game AMVs or regular AMVs or the like? And there's another question after.
That's never happened to me.
AMV, is that anime music video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the opposite where I've looked up animes because the song I liked was featured in an AMV.
Yeah, I feel like that's more common, honestly.
Again, with Linkin Park, I did like that Breaking the Habit music video.
The music video?
At the time. Yeah. Other anime music videos. I can't even think of that many, but then again, I don't watch music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing either. The problem is, anytime I think AMVs, all I think of when I hear AMVs is I think of AMV Hell, which is a video collection of AMVs that are terrible. So that's all that ever comes to mind when I see that.
Yeah.
So
I might not be the person to ask this question too.
Now I'm just thinking of America's Funniest Home Videos. And I mean, that was a show, but I mean, we have YouTube now. But I watched a lot of America's Funniest Home Videos growing up.
A lot of people did. They wanted that money. They're like, my life's silly too. I could earn, was it $10,000? I forget how much money you even got on that show.
I think it was somewhere around 10,000. Yeah. What a dumb show. Like, you could not show that show to any kids these days because of YouTube. YouTube destroyed that show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why everyone that was sent in like on a tape, even though like we had DVDs at the time and stuff.
YouTube actually transformed that show, which is why, what's his name? Ray William Johnson and those people got so big is because they basically just did that for dumb YouTube videos back in the day.
I don't know who that is. Are they just looking at like dumb compilations and stuff and like
they would just like show a video and then just be like, "Oh, isn't that wacky, huh?" or whatever.
I mean, that's what America's Funniest Home Videos was.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It is pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all sophisticated now. Back then, we didn't have like the internet, and this is our only source of like memes.
Also, Paul, shout out to referencing Ray William Johnson, who I don't think has been relevant for years.
Hell yeah, man.
I don't even know if he's even doing content anymore.
Less than 3. No, he's busy, I think, copyright claiming people and trying to ruin people's careers now. He went that path.
He's one of those. Okay.
He went renegade. Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Moving on. I have another question. In the context of the Mortal Kombat universe, what unit of measurement do you think Sub-Zero uses when he or whoever named him came up with his name? Put simply, is Sub-Zero Fahrenheit or Sub-Zero Celsius? Sub-Zero Kelvin. Let's be real.
Kelvin. Yeah, probably.
I mean, it has to be Fahrenheit, right?
No,
it's probably Sub-Zero Kelvin.
I'm just thinking like American Fahrenheit.
Oh, like originally? Yeah, like probably.
Like it's like yeah, I'm just like trying to actually answer it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably Fahrenheit. I mean, the nice thing is at least all of these numbers are actually freezing. And it's not just like, well, in this one unit, 0 actually isn't freezing. Which, yeah, I'm sure someone's going to write in and be like, well, actually, there's this unit of measurement where 0 is where things boil or whatever. Which you don't need to @ me on Twitter about this. I don't care.
He really does.
Yeah, please add him on Twitter.
No, don't @ me on Twitter about your metrics. Sub-Zero is the coolest character in Mortal Kombat.
What? I mean,
he checks all the boxes. To make a cool character in Mortal Kombat, they have to be a ninja and they have to have the face mask.
Yeah, that's only like what 20 characers in Mortal Kombat.
They're all the coolest, but he is literally
everyone loves them.
I mean, my favorite is Sub-Zero.
There's 2 Sub-Zeros, so it's even easier for him to be the correct answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Linebeck writes in, I was wondering, what's the most ridiculous thing you've ever made a character / vehicle creator that you can remember? Oh, you've ever made in a character / vehicle creator.
I mean, I routinely make terrible characters in Character Creator, so I don't know if I really have a proper answer to that. But at the same time, like in Cycle that I made in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is one of my favorite creations.
Okay.
It was literally just like a long tube with one giant wheel, and it had like a rocket engine, and it flew and drove, and it was the best, but it was also an absolute piece of garbage.
And you said this was Nuts and Bolts?
Yes.
I'd just like to take a second and say that game is great.
Yep.
Yeah, Nuts and Bolts is fun. It is more fun than people give it credit for.
That game came out the same day as Viva Pinata 2. They made 2 games at the same time and put them out on the same day.
Really? I don't remember that being the case.
Yeah. Yep. And they were both budget priced. Fun fact for you.
Oh, rare.
I like rarely spend any time with character creator stuff. I like when character creators have just like a randomize button, and I'll just go through that until I find something I like and then maybe tweak it a little bit. But for the most part, like I am definitely one of those people, like when it comes to Lego, where I like following the instructions and I don't just like make whatever I want. I'm not just like a make your own fun kind of person. Which is why, like, I bounce off things like Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky. So I don't have a great answer for this.
Gotcha. Wrestling games, character creators. I remember.
Yep.
Okay. So in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Mark Hamill plays a cartoon character in the Jay and Silent Bob movie that they're going to break up or whatever in Los Angeles. And his character is named Cockknocker with a giant fist or whatever, and he looks like a moron. We made Cockknocker in wrestling where every single button push was the low blow move, and we did a
excellent
4-player match where we just kept cock knocking each other over and over until everybody but one perished, and that was the most ridiculous.
You just made me remember something that one of my friends did. My buddy Tom, he's an evil genius. He created Lousy Dan, which was a character in Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where every move he had was, I think, the throw-up move from Bo Raicho. So every button did that. So, like, that's all he could do. But then I found out that ends up, like, they can't do that for your mid-air attacks. So he used his best character to fight me, and I beat him with Lousy Dan because you could jump kick instead of vomiting.
Okay.
So, never forget Lousy Dan.
Nice.
That's it.
Last question from J.S.Knee. Jisney. Since I'm going there next weekend, is tipping a thing in Canada? Yes. It is.
Yes.
There you go. 100%. If you
do
want
not
to
tip 100%.
Yeah, don't. I'm just saying he had a 100% correct answer. All three of us unified. If you want to send in questions next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What are your games of the week?
Wargroove.
I guess Kingdom Hearts 3.
He says so sad. I'm going to give it to Wargroove as well. Do we have housekeeping?
Chroma Squad.
Chroma Squad won the poll. Yes, Chroma Squad is the game for this month. We are playing it, or we're going to be playing it and discussing it later this month. Thanks to everyone who voted, and stay tuned for that. That's the end of the show.
That is.
Goodbye.
Bye.
He's just